Go! Happy Blueberry Festival!
The celebration of all things blueberry, pies, muffins, cobblers, ice cream, parfaits, is a yearly tradition at harvest time in this country's blueberry growing regions.
Blueberry. I love blueberries.
And I like blueberries and ice cream.
You put blueberries in almost anything that women cook.
I like the color of them. Blue's my favorite color.
There are blueberry dancers, a blueberry mascot, and in Marshall County, Indiana, a contest for Little Miss Blueberry.
Little Miss Blueberry is Miss Lennon Ritchie.
All putting a very happy face on the multi-million-dollar blueberry industry.
Blueberries are 100% American.
In the actual blueberry fields, however, far from the fairgrounds, an ABC News investigation found children often play a much different role at harvest time. This 5-year-old girl, Suli, helped lug buckets of berries picked by her parents and older brothers in Michigan. Her older brothers are Picho, who is 8 years old, and Cristobal, who told us in Spanish he was 7.
¿Cuántos años tienes? 7.
With only a few rare exceptions, federal law prohibits large agricultural operations from using any children under the age of 12. No one keeps track of just how many children do work illegally in this country, but human rights groups say what we found here provides a rare insight into a sad fact of life in the harvesting of blueberries and other hand-picked crops.
Americans think of child labor as a problem elsewhere, but in fact we have that problem in our own backyard.
We conducted our investigation of child labor practices in American fields with the help of 4 graduate students on a fellowship with the Carnegie Corporation.
So what it really comes down to is small fingers, picking the smaller fruits and vegetables.
The Carnegie Fellows spent weeks this summer in the fruit and vegetable fields of North Carolina, New Jersey, and Michigan, where they found migrant families, usually paid by the bucket, barely scraping by. The little hands of the blueberry children can mean a few extra dollars.
Today when we came down, as soon as they saw us, they ran away from us, so we're just trying to keep a low profile right now.
In the end, the students were able to document on tape what even the children's own parents often try to hide from outsiders. In Michigan, this boy, whose migrant family comes here every year, told us his long days, often going to 9 o'clock at night, make him very tired.
How long have you been doing this?
This is my 3rd year.
Your 3rd year? How old are you?
11.
If true, it is a flagrant violation of the U.S. child labor law, which local legal aid workers say is enforced loosely, if at all.
The rules regarding child labor are very lax. There's not a lot of people out there checking IDs of workers in the fields, and everybody knows it's the economic reality for the families, and so it's something that happens and people just put their head in the sand and know that it happens, and it's not in a wink and we look the other way.
These fields are part of one of the largest blueberry operations in Michigan, the Adkin Blue Ribbon Packing Company, a supplier for Walmart and the Kroger and Myers grocery store chains. An internet posting by the daughter of owner Randy Atkin shows him prominently featured on a Walmart billboard. His well-known red Hummer was parked outside the office on the day we went to show him our pictures. But Atkin sent out his secretary to say he would not talk in front of cameras. He cannot come out and talk to me?
Just make an appointment.
He doesn't want to see these pictures? What is he afraid of, you think?
Sir,
is it these pictures, you think?
Premises, please. Okay.
We'd like to talk to him, okay? I'll give you my business card. We found Atkin later, out for a walk.
Sir, we'd just like to ask you some questions about some of the underage labor on your farms. Do you have any comment?
Atkin says he has a strict policy against children working in his fields, but he would not answer our questions about the 5, 7, 8, and 11-year-olds we found there. The North American Blueberry Council says the industry does not condone the use of child labor either, but says it involves only a tiny segment of the industry. Human rights groups say the problem exists all across the country.
There is child labor in agriculture in almost every state in the United States.
We showed our footage to Zema Korsadnev of Human Rights Watch, which is preparing its own investigation of child labor practices in the U.S.
I think we have this image of an idyllic, outdoor, healthy agricultural work, but the reality is completely different for these kids.
And she says the fact that 12 and 13-year-old children are allowed to work under the current law is an American disgrace.
Agriculture is one of the most dangerous industries in the U.S. that's open to children. Kids have died from heat stroke, from tractors, from other injuries.
And health workers say there is repeated exposure to chemicals used as crop pesticides. This 8-year-old boy, Edgar, seemed wise beyond his years about the danger of the chemicals sprayed in the Michigan cherry fields.
You see this white on the cherry? That means that they were been sprayed, and that's how they grew.
And you see that?
What do they spray with?
They spray with some kind of
and you see right here, like
poison stuff, so that way, like, some animals cannot eat it while they're doing that. And every person should back off. Like, well, if they're done over here, and the tractor's coming from here, and the kid's right there, they could poison themselves because it's too dangerous for them. Or sometimes they could go to the hospital. Sometimes they could die.
A lot of the chemicals that the kids are around cause respiratory illness, neurologic impairment, contact dermatitis, really severe rashes on their bodies, the little children's bodies.
Josie Ellis, a nurse with a migrant health program in North Carolina, says the fields here are full of children.
Play is something that migrant children know very little about. Work, they know. Play, not so much. We see frustration, we see really tired kids, we see depression in children, despair, the inability to dream, the inability to see past high school, the inability to see past junior high school.
Ellis works in a part of North Carolina that is hours from the nearest Department of Labor office. And she says her formal complaints of illegal child labor rarely result in any action.
They just don't seem to really care. I think it's shameful that our nation tolerates child labor. We have laws against it. Those laws are not getting enforced.
At the Department of Labor, President Obama's Secretary of Labor, Hilda Solis, has promised a crackdown on child labor. And this summer, her department went after a dozen blueberry growers in North Carolina, Arkansas, and New Jersey. As well, our investigation of the Randy Atkin operation in Michigan also has produced results. This week, when federal labor inspectors learned our story was coming, they cited him for child labor law violations. And today, Walmart and the grocery store chains Kroger's and Myers suspended doing business with Atkin while they investigate the conditions we found in his fields.